Hey guys, this is Rez and welcome back to a new episode. Today we're going to talk about this margin and padding. What the hell is it and why do we even care? Well, I thought it was pretty obvious, at least at the beginning when you start any design, you would know this. But I noticed that a few of my own students didn't understand what margin or padding was and how was it affecting their whole layout system. So just continuing off where we left off from last video with the gravities, I want to talk about this margin padding and how it affects your design. Well, you should understand the margin. So let's take this raw example, this text box over here, this edit text. Margin says, hey, this is the outside of me, distance from others. So I need my own space. Okay, currently it has no margin space, so you could see it's actually touching meow and roar. Well, if that's true, how come it's not touching the border of my screen? Well, actually the next thing that comes in is padding. Padding says inside those objects, give a distance between the border and the content. So over here, between the border and the content, which is raw text, there's a space, right? Well, the same thing goes with the main box that holds everything out. There's a padding that says, hey, between my first items, or between any items actually, I want this much distance. Okay, so let's go play around. Maybe we'll understand better with that. So the first thing we said was there's this invisible margin that says how much space do I want to take from others, right? So if we come over here, this is my raw box over here, and I see that there's no distance between meow. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start typing margin, and you're gonna see the layout coming back up. Remember, when we write layout, it kind of tells whoever the layout boss is. Currently, it's linear layout. He will take care of doing the margin for you, or whatever that you're requesting, right? So let's go back to margin. We could specify bottom, or if you write margin, it will be all around it. Sorry, I was updating some stuff. Okay, so if we write margin, it will be all around. If we write bottom, it will be just to the bottom. So let's just do it all around for now. And notice as I type a distance, that there's gonna be a distance being created between roar and the meow box. Okay, so let's just put it to 20 dp. Okay, so now I see there's a distance here. The distance on the left of it got bigger. This is on the right, on the top got bigger too, and on the right we don't notice, so we don't mind, right? So what happened here? Well, the margin says give me a distance from my borders and the outside world of 20 density pixels. Okay, now that's great because we got our distance from meow, but I didn't want this distance from, I didn't want it to be so far off from the borders of my screen, right? I just want it to be 20 density pixels away from the screen. Well, this is the next thing that comes in. It's saying, hey, you are giving it 20 density pixels of margin, but the layout that contains everything, it's also giving it a padding, right? So padding on the left would be that 20 density pixels. So if we go here and we just make that to 0, and you see the distance reduced. If we go on the top and we make that 0 for now as well, don't worry, there might be errors, but that's fine, we don't care. We just want to see that it changes, right? Let's just add dp so he understands that it's still nothing. So now it's only giving the distance of the 20 dp of margin, not the padding of the layout, right? If we bring this one to 0, let's see what happens. Okay, now it's sticking to the borders, right? To the borders of the linear layout, saying, hey, there is no margin, and inside the linear layout, it's saying there is no padding. So it sticks to each other. Now, to show you again, to make you a better sense of it, if I wanted to bring the meow a distance a bit higher, how would I do that? So the content of this box, I don't want it to be sticking to the bottom. What should I do, guys? If you figured it out, well, you would look over here and we just need to add a padding at the bottom. So padding, if you want, added specifically for the bottom. If you want, added all around, and we're just gonna say 10 dp, and you notice that the meow starts floating up. If we start adding 20, okay. So padding and margins are to help you to distance stuff from the border of that container. Alright, and that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. This is Rez. Subscribe, comment, leave me any remarks you think I missed, or if you have questions, it'll be my pleasure. Cheers.